Hey, how's everyone today? So I got all the detail parts on this new in box old Proto 2000 SD60 Union Pacific, and I'll just show you how it kind of came out. So I just added a little bit of white paint to the front grab irons, the large ones, and I put a little bit of white paint on these grab irons on the front pilot plow. So I was basically just going by photos that I found of this particular road number on the internet. And it was the only thing that was really hard to get, and I didn't find a picture till afterwards, but I'll explain that in a minute. So I just added a little bit of white paint on this side grab rail here. The steps were already done by the factory, so that's awesome, and they looked fine. And I added top vent shades, or wind deflectors, sorry. And the picture of it I found on Google did not have side wind deflectors, so I didn't put any on. Now here's where I kind of messed up. Well, I mean, I could fix it, but I already have the holes drilled, so, and the parts in. So anyway, I could not find a picture of 6005 with the top of the cab, mostly just side views, pretty low pictures. But I did find pictures of other SD60s by Union Pacific, and this is kind of the configuration where they had the beacon light. But someone on a Facebook group finally sent me a picture. They had one of 6005, top view. Someone took the picture from over a hill, looking down on the locomotive, and the beacon light is right where this antenna is, and it has a little tiny antenna right behind it. So unfortunately, I'm a little late for that right now. I mean, I could fix it, but I'm just going to leave it how it is. But it's hard to say. Throughout the decades, it may have had this configuration too, because these things were used for decades, right? So I mean, could be fine. So the side grab irons along the walkway, those were already installed. Didn't have to do anything to those. Those were gray. This little grab iron right here, I couldn't get a clear enough picture to see what color it is, so I left it gray. We got some see-through vents. That's really nice. Like, bang for the buck, these old Proto 2000s still hold up to this day. Like, the details are really amazing on it. I mean, even the horns look really nice. The horns are fantastic looking. We got lift rings or eye bolts, whichever you want to call them. This fan detailing is really good. It's not see-through, but it's really excellent. We got see-through fans, grills up in the rear, with the fans in there too. I mean, these are excellent looking, considering how old they are. The trucks are decently detailed. We got the brake cylinders with the lines. I mean, they look fantastic to me. Great job. I mean, but for a locomotive this old, there's not much in the way for underbody cabling. Not much. There's a tiny little bit, but it's not like anything like, a modern Athearn Genesis or Rapido, Intermountain, Broadway Limited, any of those names. But I mean, this is a really old locomotive. But I mean, a bang for your buck these days, man. They're worth getting. So, pictures also I've seen, so I added a little bit of paint on the grab rail here, on the side walkway one, and also on the rear, a little bit of white paint. The steps were already done by the factory. These appeared to have stayed gray, so I will leave it as is. I didn't have to do any touch-ups along the rear pilot, if that's even the proper name I'm using. I did put a Katie on the back of it. And let's turn it around to the other side. Alright, and again this side, I applied a little bit of white paint on the grab rail on the rear, and a little bit of white paint on the rear side one along the walkway. Steps were already done, and the lift bar, that was already done white, so I just left that as it is. I didn't have to add anything along the right side of the locomotive, along the main side grab iron on the walkway. And the walkway is textured. The phone might be picking it up a little bit. And there's a little bit of cabling along the air reservoir tank, which is great for back in the day. That's awesome. I probably could do the fuel cap red. I'll have to double check the pictures of it on the Google. And of course we got, see-through vent on the right side. And again, I added top wind deflector or vent shade, whatever you want to call it. We got the beacon light. Although from the picture I finally seen, it's in the wrong spot, but I'm just going to leave it. And there's also the pics I seen on Google. There's no side wind deflectors on this locomotive. And then again in the front, I just added a little bit of white paint on the grab iron on the side and a little bit of white paint on the front grab rail. This one up here came white from the factory, didn't have to do it, and the rest of them appear gray in the pictures. And the lift bar that came factory white. I put a little bit of white here on the plow like I did in the pictures. I didn't add any silver paint on the glad hands on the MU hoses, and I just kept this factory coupler here. And that's pretty much how this went so far. But very happy I found this locomotive, brand new in box. They're getting a little harder to find brand new in box, but you can find them in a really good condition used. But brand new in box, a little more challenging. Just a bit. But overall, super happy. And it runs great. I put it through its break-in period, and it runs nice and smooth. Just glides on the rails. And I'll get another close-up view of the locomotive before I end the video. I didn't put any black paint on the girls yet, but I will. And that'll make it look even more epic. Alright, I'll turn it around to the other side. I'll do a camera flyby of it. Let's go down a little low here. There we are. Let's bring it across. Got little figures in there too. And get a close-up of the back before my cell phone gets blurry. Nice see-through fan vents. Awesome locomotive. Alright, I'm going to end the video. Like and subscribe if you wish. Everyone take care and have a good one. And I'll have another video going soon.